Hi, good morning. So we all know that in order to achieve our goal, we must take baby steps to get to it. So in this quote, "There is no fire without smoke" by John Haywood, I interpret it as right now we're in college because we want to get to the certain career or major we want to do. So in order for us to see the smoke, which would be the major and career we want, we have to go through the fire, which would be the steps into getting to that major. So I know personally I want to become a liberal studies major, which is an elementary school teacher. I know that I had to go through the fire, which was elementary school, middle school, high school, and now college. So in order for me to see that smoke, which is becoming an elementary school teacher, I need to take risk and go through this fire. Also, when we all want to, I know personally, when I want to lose weight, I can see myself through many miles away though. I can see that I want to look better for summer, which would be the smoke. But I know that I have to go through all this dieting and all this cutting off in and out and wonderful food. But I know that that's the fire risk that I have to go through. So when it says there is no fire without smoke, I see the fire as the base that supports you and letting you see the smoke, which is your goal. So now we should all know that without a fire, there wouldn't be any smoke.
Can I borrow your brain right quick?
All right, Natalie, I thought the visualization's attention device was okay. You identified the topic. Your interpretation of the quote was a little interesting, but if that's the way you want to go with it, that's okay. As long as you're consistent with that. I thought that you only made reference to it one time in the issues that you talked about, and I think that you need to set up a structure a lot more so that makes sense. Because basically I get a review of your school history and then talking about losing weight, and is that the structure of the speech? I'm not sure. Those are just the examples that you came up with, and neither of them had very much detail to them, so how they fit in with the thesis that you've come up with is not quite as clear as it ought to be. And I can see how you're trying to put these things together, but it's not paying off the way you want it to. The content, I think, feels a little bit random when you're speaking, and especially because there's not much detail on those points. You just are kind of repeating, well, here's what you do when you go through elementary school and then high school and then college, and then when you lose weight, here's what you have to do. The stories are not very detailed, and the idea that connecting it to the smoke and the fire thing is like I said, a bit of a stretch unless you've got a good illustration of that point, and I didn't really feel like your illustrations fit that as well. The presentation issues, your voice projects reasonably well. The thing that I think that you've got going for you here on your, where are you? Oh, there you are. I'm looking for you in back. The thing that I think you've got going for you on your voice is that you've got a good range in your voice, and you use it for the most part. There are highs and lows and places where there's some inflection, and so you add a lot of personality to the speech, and that, I think that makes it a little bit easier to enjoy and your content a lot more endearing than if you were just going through the motions. You sound like you were trying to say something, which I appreciate. Pacing is a little inconsistent. There were some hesitancies here and there. That's normal. They weren't bad. I just think you need to be a little bit better on that. You looked animated. You had pretty solid eye contact. The speech is a little brief, so you probably, like I said, need to develop either an additional point for the structure or some more detail on the examples that you're talking about. And I think I mentioned to you the end of the speech. I can hear that you're trying to summarize your idea, but it needs to be like a sharper explanation of what you're trying to get across. And I think part of the problem is the examples that you develop make it hard for you to do that. All right, thank you.